I want to introduce you to what I think is my new favorite whiskey. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I have a box here, and it's got a bottle of whiskey in it, and this is actually Macallan Rare Cask here. Now, I was actually introduced to this by my buddy John, so thanks to him, and thanks to me for going to college to meet him, but it has 6 pillars of whiskey on the back here, and I'm not going to read those all to you. But Macallan is a very well-known name in the whiskey space. They have a bunch of different whiskeys. I think their 12-year, 15-year is really kind of their bread and butter. You can get those, and they're supposed to be fantastic, and those will be under $100 a bottle. Now, if you go up to their Macallan 30, now you're talking about like 6, 7, 8 grand a bottle. This kind of sits in the middle here at about $400 a bottle, but you get, I think, a lot of that experience of those older ones, and it's a little bit of a step up of the ones that are kind of a little younger, like the 15 years. So beautiful presentation here. Obviously this really cool box here, it's obviously quite big. So I want to open this up here, and despite how big this is, it is just kind of your standard whiskey bottle. Oh, look at that tissue paper. I mean, you even get a little kind of gold leaf printing in there. Pretty nice. I mean, the box just goes in the garbage, so I guess it's one of those things that doesn't cost a lot to do. Oh my god, the bottle looks like a brown paper bag. How cool is that? Oh, wait a minute. It is put in there for packaging. Because I mail ordered this thing, I think they went ahead and opened this up and put a bunch of extra stuff in here. So that reveal was a little less than satisfying, but here is the bottle itself. So you can see it is a nice slender looking bottle, kind of reminds me of the Oscar statue, and it has just a beautiful golden color. Now, what makes this rare cask so special, I believe, is that it is finished in these special oak barrels here that have raisin notes, apparently. And the other thing that I thought this advertised is that it's finished in sherry casks as well. So I don't see that listed here, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. This is the 2022 release, and I can tell you that the bottle has stayed pretty similar to what I've seen in the past. So, like I said, tall, slender. You do get a full 750 milliliters here. I know sometimes they kind of rip you off by going to a 700 milliliter, making the bottle look bigger. You think you're getting that extra 50 milliliters that you do with every other whiskey, but in this case, you actually get it all. Obviously, this is a product of Scotland, so it's Scotch, like James Doohan was not, and it's just very pretty. I mean, it's got that really dark color, which I actually don't really think is a very Scottish whiskey thing. For most of the scotches that I've had, they're kind of very caramelly or, you know, yellowish, but this one is definitely darker, raisinish. So what we have here is a cool top. I'm gonna pull this up. Real cork right there. Definitely smells delicious. All right, so I tell you what, I didn't start the camera, so this is actually my second glass of this because I've already tried it. So I can just tell you, the second glass is just as good as the first glass, and the thing about this is that I don't know if it's just because I read that it has these raisin notes on the box here, but that's really what you taste. And as you can see, as I'm sipping, I'm not choking. Oh, this is so hot. So it definitely has that warmth, that punch that you might expect, but it is so smooth and fruity. The thing about this is when I see a whiskey or a bourbon like this, I just assume that it comes from that charred barrel, right? You get that really smoky, oaky flavor in it when it is dark like this. In this case, it has more of a wine taste than a smoke taste, if that makes sense. It's just a lot more fruity. Like I said, I just poured myself a splash here. Otherwise, my pace of recording this video is going to slow down quite a bit. But it has that fruity raisin date flavor, and it's just so easy to drink. Certainly, I think putting this on ice or something like that is going to make it even a little bit colder and smoother. This is just at room temperature. But I think I'm pleasantly surprised because that smoke taste, which I actually like, isn't really a big part of the taste here. It is really all about the flavor profile, the fruit flavor in this, and so I really love this. I will tell you what, that Macallan Rare Cask, despite the fact that it is expensive, I still think is a pretty good value. So if you are trying to add one bottle to your collection, something that I think is going to be universally liked by people, you know, if they're whiskey drinkers or scotch drinkers, then this is the one I think you want to add. At $400 a bottle, it is not cheap. Mind you, it is not cheap. There are a lot of $50, $60 bottles that are very, very good. But I have tried some whiskeys from bottles that are $2,000, $3,000 because just a little taste. But I will tell you that I've enjoyed this a lot more. So if you want a really good value, I think, and a reason to splurge, spend that paycheck, spend that bonus money, spend that Christmas money you got from your grandma, well, Macallan Rare Cask, I think, is a great balance between some of the 15 and 18-year-olds and not spending the money for that 30-year-old. So if you want to pick this up, I will definitely put a link to it in the description below because I'm loving it and I'm going to go find a dark corner in my basement and get blitzed. So pick up a bottle for yourself and enjoy. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than